Hi, this is Country Day Head of School, Tony Giacacci. Today is Sunday, April the 12th, and I wish those families celebrating Easter and Passover the very best today. Today, in our update, I'll be doing two things. First, speaking with our 3 division heads about Country Day connected remote learning, and then sharing pictures from our social media hashtag, Country Day Connected. Let's begin with the division heads. All right, good morning. I'm joined today with our 3 wonderful division heads, Jen Weinheimer in the upper school, Teresa Hirschauer in the middle school, and Jen Jensen in the lower school, and thought I'd have a conversation with them about how Country Day Connected is going.
Yeah, I think Country Day Connected has started off really strong. I think in the upper school, we were able to really make use of information from schools out on the West Coast and in Asia that have been doing remote learning for some time. And so we weren't overly ambitious with the schedule that we proposed, which I think has really served us well. And I think we've also made space for the fact that we knew that we were going to have to tweak and adjust things as we went along, and that we weren't going to have all the answers right away. But I'm really pleased with the way that it started. I think our teachers have really stepped up and have learned a lot of new ways of teaching, and our students have been along for the ride with a really positive attitude, and that helps us tremendously.
So my next question then is, if you were going to be speaking to a student, and I know many of you, the 3 of you have been speaking to students, but if you're going to be speaking to all of the students in your division, what advice would you be giving to the students about how they can best find success in remote learning?
I think what I'll say is the 4 key points that I talked about last Sunday in my video. I mean, we did CCDS, and C is the communication, C is compassion, D is the driver of your education, and S is safety. And so I think those are really, really important. And I think the 2 this week are M and S. I mean, M is music. It's great for the soul. We all need to find that place that can sort of be our getaway. And the S is self. We have to find the balance, and we have to find that schedule that allows us to balance the schoolwork with family, with being outside. So I think those are the 6 things: CCDS, MS.
One of the great strengths of Country Day is that we partner with our parents in the education of their children. Well, during Country Day Connected and remote learning, we've never needed to partner as much with our parents as we do now. Can you talk to me what advice you'd give to the parents on ways that they can best support their children's learning during this remote learning program?
I would also say, obviously, schedule is really important, but a rhythm, finding your rhythm, and that rhythm is going to be different for every single family, depending on the age of your children, depending on whether or not you're working while you are also caring for your children. You have to balance that, and every family is going to be different. And so finding a rhythm that works for your family is going to be helpful, not worrying so much about if you're keeping up with somebody else's rhythm, or if you are doing it the same way somebody else, or the recommendation from the teacher. It doesn't matter. We're all inventing this. And as long as it works for you and your family and your child, that's what's most important, is that your children are going to be okay. That this is a little hiccup in time, but they'll catch up. And in the bigger scheme of things, skills will be learned, relationships will be reestablished. All of that will come back quickly once things go back to, what we would have called normal. So again, just give yourself grace and the chance to just do what works best and with the least amount of stress possible.
Can you share a little bit about yourselves and how you're finding this experience as a leader of your division?
I think that in the same ways that I was just talking sort of about our students and some of the challenges that they're going through, I think our faculty are going through those as well. We're all doing jobs, the 4 of us included, that we didn't ever anticipate doing without a school building as sort of our home base. And so I think that that's been challenging, but it's also been really rewarding to see teachers step back into that role of student and embrace that role so tremendously. Not being afraid to ask for help, not being afraid to revise plans, having to be more flexible perhaps than they've had to be in a long time, and being willing to do that and make mistakes and ask kids for help and ask them what would work best for them. And I think our teachers do this all the time in smaller ways, but it's just really come to the forefront about how important it is to partner with our students, particularly at the upper school level, to say, here's what I'm thinking about this week, but what does this feel like for you? Like, I feel like this is probably taking you a half an hour to do at home, but talk to me about that. And I think we're starting to see also, some of the ways in which we've assumed for a long time, about what's most important, and then being put in dramatic circumstances, I think really makes you see what is essential and what you can work with. And so I think that there's incredible opportunity in that. And I've been talking with a lot of the upper school teachers, as well as people who contribute on our board and things like this, about what we're going to learn about what we thought was sort of an essential piece of school that maybe now we're saying, well, that is an essential piece of school, but maybe we can think of it differently. What's really important? What are really the things that even when school seems turned upside down, that are the most important, that define the Country Day experience? And I'm really excited to see what that looks like when we return to our building on Gibbon Road, and how we can take some of the lessons that we've learned here and translate them over. But overwhelmingly, I'm just really impressed with the faculty's ability to adapt and their willingness to try new things and make mistakes. I think it's really important because that's what we ask our kids to do all the time.
Great, thank you so much. Hirsch, how about middle school?
Well, I'll just hit on a couple points. I think the first thing is that anybody that knows me, I'm a people person. So this is really, really hard. I mean, I miss the students tremendously. I mean, there is nothing better. And the reason I do what I do is having the interaction. And so I would also say that I thought I worked hard last year doing 2 jobs. I've never worked harder in my life. And I think that my teaching staff is doing the exact same thing. And what I said to them in my note on Friday is that we're all adjusting to what works best in their classroom, and what works great for one teacher doesn't mean it works great for the other teacher. And so the final piece is, I do think this is a great opportunity. It's an opportunity where people are trying new things. And I think some of those new things are gonna end up being back in the classroom when we're back on campus. And I think that'll be a blessing as well.
Super, thanks. And Jen Jensen, how about you?
So the students, I miss them tremendously, and it's probably the most challenging part of this is finding ways to connect with the students during this time of remote learning. Obviously, in the lower school, you just see the children all the time, and you're helping with them all the time, and so you can just naturally have those connections, and I don't have that right now, and so that's really, really difficult, I think, for everyone not to have those connections. Probably the most rewarding, however, is that I'm able to see so much more than I could see as one person in a large division. So the luxury of having Seesaw and the posts that go on, I can get into every, morning meeting, and I can see what the teachers are doing. And that has been so amazing to see the talent that my faculty has and what they are providing in terms of activities for their students, and the videos and the remote learning that they're doing has been fantastic. And then in turn, the work that the students are turning in, I can see what the students are doing, and so I can comment on that, and I can, I just feel a lot closer to being able to see so much more of what is happening specifically for things like that. So that's been a fun piece of this.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all for spending a little bit of time today. And I'd like to just let everybody at Country Day know how appreciative I am of our 3 division heads. So thank you so much to families who have been using the hashtag Country Day Connected on social media. We love seeing your pictures, and I'm going to share some with you in just a moment. But I also realize that not every day has been picture perfect. Remote learning and being at home together as families can be really challenging. And I really am very grateful to all of you supporting our students as we continue with Country Day Connected. Here comes week 3. Have a great week. Thanks so much.